Welcome back to the Luxury State of Mind podcast. I'm your host, Samio Shodi. And on this podcast series called Courage Jumping into the Deep End, basically what I've been sharing about for the last couple of weeks is when taking an opportunity to leap, and in my case, taking an opportunity to do an event and seeing how it went and it not going the way that I expected, what lessons did I gain from stepping into purpose, stepping into boldness to do something that I believe that I was called to do, right? So we've been sharing for the last couple of weeks the different lessons that I've learned just through that whole experience. And basically my hope is to encourage you wherever you are that you can step into courageousness and find value when things go well and when things don't go well. Because at the end of the day, some of you who are listening and you who are listening, you may have something on your heart that you want to do, to become, to experience, just fully walk in the fullness of who you are, but have not allowed yourself to do that yet. So this series is just to encourage you that you are capable, able, and allowed to take leaps of faith, leaps of courage to get to wherever it is that you are looking to get to next. So on this part of the series, on this episode, this is going to be episode 4. I'm going to be discussing a lesson that I learned in my attempt to be out here courageous and ting and it not working out. But nonetheless, it's a lesson that I found value in and I want to share with you. And really, what that is how to define an opportunity to be courageous. And ultimately, in defining that, what do you define as opportunities? Right? So there are things that we are given every day to either do or we decide not to do. And how do we decide what is worth stepping into, what is worth doing? And when an opportunity comes your way, what will you name that thing? And I actually got this concept from a previous guest on the actual Luxury State of Mind podcast. Her name was Dami. Shout out to Dami. And she spells it the same way I do. She had mentioned, she had talked about how when Adam was in the garden and how God called the animals to come to the garden. Let me rephrase that. He didn't tell them to come to the garden. Garden's on my mind. But he had brought the animals to Adam and asked Adam to name the animals. And it's not like Adam had seen these animals before, but he wanted Adam to basically see what would he call that thing. And I found that concept to be very interesting because are there opportunities in life that you look at, opportunities come to you to either like step into whatever it is that you want to do, but you label them as insignificant or you label it as small or you write yourself off that you're not enough or valuable enough or whatever it may be? Are you naming things incorrectly? Or can we reframe the mind to think of opportunities as something of value, something that can push you towards where it is that you want to go and all the things, right? So, in the case of this event for myself, somebody had approached me as I shared the whole, process of how I got into it and what came about. But somebody had actually shared the event with me. They approached me to do the event with them, to partner with them on this really cool experience for entrepreneurs. And I had not done something like this before. I had not done anything like this. I have not collaborated with this organization before. So there wasn't enough data really for me to be like, okay, this is something that I could do. However, just looking at the year, up until that point, and even still now, I do believe that this year for me personally was a year for me to what I say to run. That I'm supposed to really take opportunities this year to be who I'm supposed to. That when opportunities come, I need to take them because this is just my year to run, if that makes sense. So this person is presenting this opportunity to me. I've never done it before. I've never hosted an event for this number of people. This would be publicized to thousands of people. This would, put me in a certain space that I haven't been. People are going to be noticing me that maybe have not noticed me before. So there's a lot of stake in doing this event. However, again, I knew that it was my year to run. And then two, I was thinking about where it is that I want to go. So not only is it my year to run, but where exactly am I trying to go? Well, I know for me, I want to grow in speaking. So being a speaker, I want to build the luxury state of mind community and really offer opportunities, resources, or whatever is needed for people who engage with luxury state of mind and just serve them the best. And then ultimately, I'm trying to be out here using the gifts and talents that I got to teach other women how to do the same. And especially in the future, how to make a profit from it. Because a lot of us are out here just doing life, hiding, not fully stepped into who we are, how God has made us, and we're suffering on the inside. And that was me for so many years. So I always want to do opportunities that will allow me to do this. And this was one of them. So I would say, for one, if you're looking, if there's something in front of you right now where you're like, I'm not really sure what I should do. I don't know. Is it worth taking? I think it's worth asking yourself, one, what season are you in? And then two, where do you see yourself going, right? Where do you see yourself pushing forward? So I took some time. I thought about it. I was scared. The reality was I was absolutely nervous, but I was exhilarated because I identified this ask as an opportunity. And what made it an opportunity for me? Knowing exactly where it is that I want to go. And I would say the third thing with that, when you're looking at something that's in front of you, is, are you able to, if somebody were to ask you about this opportunity in the future, and you tell them that you didn't do it out of fear, can you confidently be able to say that later on? Could you confidently be able to say, well, I didn't do this because I was afraid? It's one thing to kind of realize that before or maybe after the fact, but I would say after the fact. But whenever you're faced with an opportunity to step into something that you've never done before, can you tell somebody, can you tell yourself that, well, because I was afraid, I didn't do it? There are a lot of things for me personally this year that I've been doing that have been scary to me. I mean, first was the first speaking engagement I had collaborating with a major brand earlier in the year. Even the process of getting that event, I think I shared that on one of my past episodes of how I ended up partnering with Joe Malone for a Galentine's Day event. But that was scary because it wasn't even the Joe Malone part that was scary. It was scary because I didn't think that I could host an event with a lot of people and they would show up. From past experiences, from what I had done in the past, because technically I'm not new to the events game. Like, I've always tried to build community in some way, especially in person. But through past experiences and just how I felt and where I left my last platform, I just felt like, "Mm, it's okay if it's small, like, it doesn't have to be so much," and it was a friend who actually pushed me to think bigger and to think differently. She didn't say, "Hey, you to think bigger," right? But she just didn't allow me to stay in the frame of thought that I had. So, going out there before I even had that opportunity to work with them was me just slowly believing that, okay, I could have this event, and what did that look like? How did I identify this opportunity? I just took one step in front of the other. I didn't have all the resources that I think I needed to have. I didn't have what I thought would help me get to the next space, or, I just didn't had nothing. I'm gonna be honest with you. I had nothing, but I just had a vision of where I wanted to go. And all the original doors that I thought would open up for me just did not. It just wasn't working out, but one door opened. And it opened because I kept moving forward. So, because of moving forward, that and then seeing the success of that, it gave me confidence. And I've realized this year that this is how you build confidence. You build confidence to be able to take opportunities, be brave and take opportunities and be courageous when you've done it in the past. A friend of mine was just saying today that people think that confidence is just built by saying, I am confident, I am cool, I am confident, or whatever affirmations that we can say. But in reality, confidence is built by doing. You've done it once, you got a result, you see nothing happen, bad happen to you, you just do it again, and you do it again, and you do it again. And that's how you build confidence. And that's what gave me the confidence to accept this proposal that was offered to me. That's what gave me that confidence. So, because of the steps that I had been taking throughout the year, now when this opportunity came, I was able to identify it as an opportunity because it it aligned with, again, where I believe I'm supposed to be going, and then also building that confidence by taking leaps. So in this case, you may be looking at something right now. You may be looking at an opportunity that's been presented to you and you are scared. Okay? It's just scary because it's requiring bravery. It's requiring courage. But again, remember these things. Where is it that you want to go? What's the vision? What is the thing that drives you that you want to see in your life? And then also, what season are you in? Like, what are you called to do in this season? Be obedient, I would say, to the season that you're in. And in my case for this year, it's been the season for me to run, to take risks, to try. And in doing that, that's what actually built the confidence for me to accept this opportunity. So, if you are trying to move forward, trying to be confident, looking at something that's in front of you, you just need to take a leap. And in my case for this event, did it go the way that I expected? No. So I shared again all of that. We couldn't find the funding for the event. We had all the resources lined up, but still it was not working out. It didn't end up happening. We're going to postpone it, or I'm going to postpone it actually. So now it's going to be under Luxury State of Mind. But I could look at that opportunity and be like, well, it was a waste. And honestly, I can't lie to you. There was a moments and moments that I felt like that because I put a lot of energy and effort. And I'm sure you can relate. Like if you've put a lot of energy and effort into something and it still is not reaping what you thought it would, or you're not getting the results that you want, it can definitely feel like, oh man, I wasted my time. Like nothing is happening. But there is value to take from it. And one of the things for me from taking this opportunity to do this event was seeing that, how do I define opportunities? I remember the whole time I just kept saying, oh, this is an opportunity. Oh, this is an opportunity to do XYZ. Let me tell you, it was an opportunity for me to be more bold. How did that look like? Calling people, calling companies, pitching ideas, talking to VPs. I ended up, and that's the thing, like, you'll never know, like, something that excites me personally, and I don't know about you, but something that excites me is the what ifs. Before, I think I used to be afraid of the what ifs, and sometimes I can still be, but I think now I'm like, what if? Like, what could be? Like, if I say yes to this opportunity, what could be? So the more I kept calling, the more I sent the emails, the more I sat down with people, the more I shared what I was doing, the more people actually wanted to be a part of it. An idea would pop in my head, or somebody had said something to me that at the time didn't relate to this event, but eventually it's like the idea just came to my mind. I was like, okay, let me just do it. I got more resources than expected. I got more support than expected because I identified this experience without knowing the result of it as an opportunity. I got an opportunity to practice sales skills. I got the opportunity to network and connect with people that I would ideally never have spoken to. I got the opportunity to form relationships and to share ideas and figure out what do businesses and companies find valuable. I got the opportunity to realize that if you wanna work with businesses, baby, you gotta start early, okay? Kinda knew that before, but that was in theory. Now I know, but I didn't allow that to stop me. I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna do this thing to the end." I got the opportunity to lean on people, to learn how to lean on people, to voice out what I need. And, it was so funny. I joked around this whole time saying that it was prime rib experience because it's prime experience. Like the experience that I got from trying to do this event, I couldn't have read in a book. I couldn't have gotten off of reading a blog post or, hearing somebody else's story. It was something that I personally needed to walk through myself to gain those experiences and those skills. So think of when there is an opportunity in front of you, what will you gain? Even if the result does not end up the way that you think, and you cannot tell that from the beginning, you have to walk the journey out. Well, what could you gain? What are the possibilities? And that's what kept me encouraged when, I didn't the money did not come at the end. It didn't come. However, the opportunities that kept presenting itself to practice all these new skills and have all these new things under my belt is what kept me pushing. What kept me going forward, even though I didn't get what I wanted to get, even though I didn't get the result that I wanted. But I could not have determined that from the beginning. It could have only been determined as I walked it out. So I just wanna encourage you, maybe you again, like, I've been talking to different people throughout this week, just really trying to figure out how can I best serve the luxury state of mind audience, the women that listen to this content, to this podcast? How can I best serve? So I've been asking some questions, and the theme that's been most apparent to me is this thing of hiding, especially hiding from how you authentically show up, or, uh, you know, not sure how to do your purpose, especially when you have like maybe a 9 to 5 job or you have all these different things going on. Like, you're called to be something, to do something, but it's just tough. Like, there's so much stuff going on. Life gets in the way. Distractions of life get in the way. How do I show up and how do I have the confidence to show up? That's been something that, or feedback that I've been getting lately, and I'm hoping that this series is encouraging you to show you what it looks like, that even if life is happening, how can you show up authentically and show up as yourself? Because what was beautiful about this event is it was a full representation of who I was. There was no hiding here. It was just, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything was just me. And I think that was just cool. And I can't wait when I'm able to share when the new date will be live. So I'll share that with you as well on when that will be. But it gives confidence to be able to just show up and just do your thing. So if that is something that you are like, I need help in, or if there's another area that you are like, Dami, if you could help me with this, it'd be great. Put it in the chat. Like, I would love to see how I can be of assistance. I would say that a lot of things that I've endured and experienced, apparently, I'm not gonna say that I would say it. Somebody's actually been telling me this lately, that what I'm doing, experiencing, all that stuff is giving them the courage to step out. It's giving them the courage to do what they're called to do. And I do it boldly because I know what it feels like not to. If you don't know my story, for almost 20 years, I was going down the medical path, struggling the whole way through, feeling like I just was not good enough, feeling like I just didn't know what I was doing. And I got 3 degrees, went to school, did all these things, completely ignored my gifts and talents, didn't find them valuable, didn't find them worthy enough. It didn't prove to myself that I was smart. However, the real people in my life were actually being like, oh my God, like when you do this, you do that. Because I always say, even if you try to hide, the real you is still showing up anyways. People are still seeing it and they're probably celebrating it, but you hiding, sis. You don't know that they're celebrating the realness of who you are. And I just got fed up. I left that track and just started, going down this journey. And it has been a journey of evolving, of growing, of learning who I am, what I value. And really that's just the purpose of what I want to do, because there's so many of us hidden. We're hiding. We're buried under the woes of life, what people said. We don't have the courage to step forward and do what we're called to do. I'm meeting so many more people who are called to speak. I'm meeting many women who have ideas, but to express them, to share them with the world is scary. Oh, I love that. Help us to be our own best. Thank you, Ellen. Yes. I feel like I love cheering people on. I love cheering people, encouraging people. That's just a gift of mine. And um, it was so funny when I was growing up, and especially when I was about to go to college, I was like, what does Oprah Winfrey do? Like, can I just have her job? But I didn't have the languaging then of what that would look like. So I was just like, guess I'll be a doctor. And I think I would have made a great doctor, to be honest, because I do love people, you know, moving forward, pushing forward, all them things. But I think my skill sets and all that is better elsewhere. But yeah. Um, so just want to encourage you that, again, if there's anything that I can help you with, I'm here. Leave it in the comments and let me know. But ultimately, if there is an opportunity in front of you, if an idea has been planted in your head that you're thinking, oh, I want to do this, I want to move forward, please, oh, please, just evaluate where you're at and what would you gain if you did it. And ultimately, can you confidently say, if you didn't do it because you were afraid? Can you tell somebody with confidence in your eyes, "Well, I did it because I was afraid"? If that's not the case, and you would feel a little bit embarrassed by saying that, then just take a little step forward and it will unfold into something magical. Well, I hope this is helpful for you. You can learn more about Luxury State of Mind by going to the Luxury State of Mind YouTube channel, as well as a podcast. It's available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube. And if you want to be a part of the Luxury State of Mind community, so you know what events are going on, what content is going on, what's happening in the Luxury State of Mind sphere, then you can join the email list. I will put that in the description of this episode. Well, thank you so much for listening, tuning in. I appreciate you for just being here and listening, and I will speak to you on the next one. Bye.